Discipline is not a gift. It is not something you wait for. It is something you build every single day when no one is watching. Most people quit because they believe motivation is supposed to carry them. But motivation dies. Discipline does not. Motivation whispers. Discipline commands. There will come a day when you do not feel like it. When your mind tells you that you are tired, that it is pointless, that no one will know if you skip today, that is the moment that defines you. Discipline is not about feeling ready. It is about doing what must be done, even when everything inside you screams to stop. If you want to change your life, stop waiting for the right time. There is no right time. There is only now. And if you do not learn how to force yourself to act when it hurts, you will stay stuck where comfort wants you to die. This audiobook is not about easy motivation. It is about war. A war between who you are and who you could be. And if you listen till the end, you will learn how to win that war every single day. Chapter 1. The Truth About Discipline. Most people talk about wanting to change their lives, but very few ever will. They wait for the right time, the perfect feeling, or the ideal circumstance. They talk about goals as if words alone create reality. But discipline does not care about words. Discipline is built in silence, in repetition, in pain. It does not wait for emotion to show up. It moves without permission. The truth about discipline is simple but uncomfortable. Discipline is not motivation. It is not excitement. It is not a spark that comes from nowhere and pushes you to move. Discipline is control. It is the decision to do what must be done, even when you hate every second of it. Motivation gets you started. Discipline keeps you moving when motivation is gone. Every successful person, every athlete, every leader, every warrior has one thing in common. They have mastered the art of doing things they do not want to do. That is discipline. It is not glamorous. It is not always inspiring. But it is the one thing that separates those who dream from those who act. You will never feel ready. Read that again. You will never wake up one morning and feel perfectly aligned to start your journey. You will be tired. You will be doubtful. You will be scared. And yet you will still have to move. That is the truth no one wants to accept. Discipline is not built in comfort. It is built in resistance. Think about a soldier. He does not wait to feel inspired to train. He trains because that is his duty. The same is true for you. Every time you follow through, when you do not feel like it, you are building the muscle of discipline. Each act of commitment, no matter how small, adds another layer to your mental armor. You begin to realize that your feelings are not your leader. You are. The problem with most people is they mistake feelings for facts. They say, "I do not feel like it today," as if that statement is a command. But your feelings are not laws. They are suggestions. You can acknowledge them, but you do not have to obey them. The strongest version of yourself is the one that acts despite emotion. The weakest version of yourself is the one that waits for comfort. You must understand that discipline is not something you find. It is something you create through repetition. Every time you choose to follow through, you strengthen your identity. You start to see yourself as someone who does what needs to be done. That identity is what drives long-term success. You no longer need external motivation because you have built internal momentum. Discipline is not about perfection. You will fall. You will fail. You will have days when you do not meet your standard. But the key is to return. Every time you return, you rebuild your strength. Every time you show up after falling, you prove that your discipline is stronger than your weakness. Most people believe discipline means grinding endlessly without rest, but that is wrong. Real discipline is balance with purpose. It means knowing when to push and when to recover. It means staying committed to progress, not perfection. It is not about being hard all the time. It is about staying consistent over time. Ask yourself, what do you really want? Not what sounds good, not what looks good, but what truly matters. Discipline is born when your goal becomes more important than your comfort. When your vision is bigger than your excuses, discipline takes over. You start to move differently. You no longer wait for the perfect day. Every day becomes an opportunity to build. The truth about discipline is that it is lonely. No one will clap for you when you wake up early. No one will notice the small choices you make to grow. No one will thank you for saying no to distraction. But every one of those decisions shapes your destiny. Discipline is quiet. It does not demand recognition. It demands respect. There will be days when you question everything. You will wonder if it is worth it, if anyone even notices, if your efforts matter. Those are the most important days, because that is when you are closest to breaking through. The moment you want to quit is the moment discipline becomes real. It is the test that separates the average from the elite. Stop waiting for someone to push you. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. The perfect moment is the one you create. You must be willing to do what others will not. You must be willing to suffer for your goals. Pain is not the enemy. Pain is the doorway to transformation. Every drop of sweat, every moment of struggle is shaping you into someone unstoppable. Discipline is a promise you make to yourself. It is self-respect in action. Every time you keep that promise, your confidence grows. You begin to trust yourself. And when you trust yourself, you become dangerous. You no longer need validation. You no longer need motivation. You have built an internal standard that does not bend. The truth is, you cannot fake discipline. You either live it or you do not. The mirror will always tell the truth. It will show you if you put in the work or if you made excuses. Discipline is the difference between saying you want it and proving you do. There will always be two voices inside you. One that tells you to rest, to relax, to skip the hard work, and another that tells you to rise, to move, to execute. The one you feed becomes your life. If you listen to the weak voice, you will live a weak life. If you feed the strong one, you will become unstoppable. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you could be. Every time you cross it, you move closer to the version of yourself that you respect. The one who follows through, the one who leads, the one who wins. The truth about discipline is that it is not about control over your body. It is control over your mind. When you master your mind, your body follows. When you master your emotions, your results multiply. Discipline is not external, it is internal. It is the ability to command yourself in the face of resistance. Do not wait for the right mindset. Act first and the mindset will follow. The habit of doing becomes your identity. The identity of a disciplined person creates the mindset of success. And that mindset builds the life you dream of. Discipline is not something you are born with. It is forged through struggle, through fatigue, through the days when you want to quit but keep going anyway. The more you practice it, the stronger it gets. It becomes who you are. So when you wake up tomorrow and you do not feel like it, remember this. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to push you. You are your own rescue. You are your own motivation. You are your own strength. That is discipline. That is truth. Chapter 2, The War Within. There is a war happening inside every man and woman who wants to change their life. It is not fought with weapons or in open fields. It happens in silence between your ears every morning when you wake up. The war within is the constant battle between who you are and who you are trying to become. It is the fight between comfort and growth, weakness and strength, fear and action. Most people never win this war because they do not even know it exists. They think their lack of discipline is a problem of time, motivation, or talent. But the truth is simpler. You are not fighting the world. You are fighting yourself. You are at war with your excuses, your laziness, your distractions, and your comfort. The external world only reflects the battles you have already lost internally. When you say, "I will start tomorrow," it is not the world that stopped you. It is your mind whispering that you have more time. When you say, "I will wait until I feel ready," that is fear disguising itself as logic. Every day that you hesitate, the weaker version of yourself gains ground. Discipline is not about defeating others. It is about conquering the voice inside you that wants to stay the same. The war within never ends. You do not win it once and move on. You fight it every morning, every decision, every moment you face resistance. The reason discipline feels hard is because it demands that you choose growth over comfort again and again. Comfort never stops calling. It tells you that rest is earned before effort. It tells you that you can always do it later. And if you listen long enough, comfort will kill your potential quietly. To win the war within, you must first learn to hear the enemy. You must become aware of the small moments where your mind tries to protect you from discomfort. It will tell you that you are tired, that you deserve a break, that it is okay to skip just one day. But the truth is, one day becomes two, and two becomes a week. You begin to fall backward while telling yourself you are standing still. Awareness is your first weapon. You cannot fight what you do not see. When you start to catch those thoughts in real time, something changes. You stop being controlled by them. You start to realize that your mind is not always your ally. It will create reasons that sound reasonable, but are poison in disguise. It will convince you that you are being kind to yourself by avoiding the hard thing. Real kindness is not avoidance. Real kindness is keeping promises to yourself even when it hurts. You have to build mental armor. That means choosing the hard path deliberately. Every time you resist the urge to quit, you gain strength. Every time you say no to comfort, your willpower thickens. Discipline grows when you make decisions that contradict your feelings. You start to feel the shift. The voice that once controlled you becomes quieter. The war inside you begins to tilt in your favor. But do not mistake progress for peace. The war within will test you forever. Some days you will lose. You will hit snooze. You will break your streak. You will make excuses. That does not mean you failed. What matters is what happens next. Do you stay down or do you rise again? Discipline is not perfection. It is persistence. You keep showing up until showing up becomes your nature. There will be moments when you feel completely alone. No one will see how hard you are fighting. No one will understand the battles you face in silence. But that is where real warriors are made. Greatness is built in solitude, not applause. When no one is watching, when no one is cheering, you either quit or you grow. That is the difference between those who talk about discipline and those who live it. Every day you make choices that define your identity. When you choose to get up early, when you choose to train when tired, when you choose to work instead of scroll, you are casting votes for the person you want to become. The war within is decided one small vote at a time. You do not need to win every battle. You just need to keep voting for your higher self until it becomes who you are. You must learn to detach from comfort and emotion. Comfort is a liar. It tells you that peace means rest, but real peace is the absence of regret. Emotion will tell you to quit when you are close to a breakthrough. It will trick you into believing that ease equals happiness. But happiness comes from growth, and growth only comes through struggle. When you are in pain, remind yourself that it means you are alive, that you are improving. Pain is not your enemy. It is your teacher. It tells you that you are stretching beyond limits. It shows you that you can endure more than you think. Most people run from pain and chase comfort, and that is why they never evolve. If you can learn to embrace pain, to welcome the discomfort that others avoid, you will rise above 90% of people. To win the war within, build rituals that reinforce discipline. Wake up and move before you think. Do the task before you argue with yourself. Action kills doubt. The thinking gives it strength. When you hesitate, fear grows louder. When you act, fear weakens. The key is movement. Motion is power. Remind yourself daily that the mind can be trained like a muscle. Every time you push through resistance, you strengthen it. Every time you give in, you weaken it. It is not about how much you do in one day. It is about what you do consistently over time. Small victories accumulate. That is how the war is won. Never forget that the war within is personal. It cannot be outsourced. No one can fight it for you. No one can discipline you into greatness. You must face your own demons. You must stand in front of your excuses and refuse to bow. You must look at your weakness and decide that it will not lead anymore. When you master yourself, everything else becomes easier. You will stop being controlled by fear, distraction, and doubt. You will become calm under pressure. You will act when others hesitate. You will see obstacles as opportunities to test your strength. That is what discipline does. It does not remove the war. It teaches you how to win it. The war within will always exist, but once you learn to fight it, you stop fearing it. You begin to understand that it is not there to break you, but to build you. The enemy within is the one that forges your greatest power. The only question is whether you are willing to face it. When you wake up tomorrow and your mind tells you to rest, remember this: the battle has already begun. Every moment you hesitate, the weaker voice grows stronger. Every time you move without thinking, you silence it. You become the commander of your own life. The war within is not about destruction. It is about domination. And the only way to win is to fight every single day. Chapter 3, Pain is the Path. Everyone wants to grow until growth demands pain. Everyone wants to become stronger until life starts testing them. The truth is that progress never comes wrapped in comfort. It comes through pain, resistance, and challenge. Pain is not your punishment. It is your teacher. It's the most honest feedback life can give you. Most people run from pain. They believe that discomfort is a sign something is wrong. They want success to feel smooth, effortless, and easy. But that belief is what keeps them weak. You cannot build strength without resistance. You cannot develop resilience without struggle. Every time you avoid pain, you also avoid progress. Pain has a purpose. It exposes weakness. It shows you exactly where you are fragile, where you lack control, where you still have room to grow. When you feel that sting, that ache, that exhaustion, it is your body and mind saying, this is where you must focus. Most people interpret that signal as stop. The disciplined interpret it as start. Think about training. A muscle only grows when it is pushed to failure. The process hurts. It burns. It breaks down fibers so they can rebuild stronger. The same principle applies to your mind, your discipline, your identity. Every time life challenges you, it is breaking down the weak parts to make room for strength. Pain is the price of transformation. There is no shortcut around it. The people you admire, the ones who seem unshakable, have all suffered more than most. They did not escape pain. They embraced it. They learned how to walk through it without fear. You cannot master your life until you stop running from discomfort. The reason most people never reach their potential is because they quit at the first sign of pain. They confuse pain with failure. They think discomfort means they are not built for it. In reality, pain is the exact signal that you are on the right path. When everything feels easy, it means you are staying within limits. When it hurts, it means you are expanding beyond them. You must learn to look at pain differently. Stop asking why it hurts and start asking what it is teaching you. Pain builds awareness. It shows you who you are when things get difficult. Anyone can stay calm when life is easy. True character reveals itself when pressure rises. That is when you discover the truth about yourself. Pain teaches patience. When you are in pain, you cannot rush. You must endure. You must breathe through it step by step, moment by moment. You learn that real discipline is not about intensity. It is about endurance. The ability to keep going when every part of you wants to stop is what separates those who achieve from those who dream. There will be days when pain feels unbearable. The weight of failure, the loneliness of sacrifice, the exhaustion from constant effort. You will ask yourself why you keep pushing. You will wonder if it is worth it. The answer is always yes. Because the alternative is worse. The alternative is regret. Pain fades. Regret does not. Pain purifies. It strips away your excuses, your softness, your illusions. When you go through pain long enough, you stop caring about what people think. You stop chasing approval. Pain teaches humility. It reminds you that no one is invincible, that growth is a process, that strength is earned one scar at a time. When you face pain with courage, it changes you. You begin to realize that pain cannot destroy you. It can only expose you. The pain you feel today becomes the power you carry tomorrow. Every time you survive another challenge, your threshold expands. You start to crave the challenge because you know it is shaping you. But do not misunderstand this truth. Pain without purpose is suffering. Pain with purpose is progress. You must attach meaning to the struggle. If you see pain as random, it will break you. If you see it as training, it will build you. Every setback, every disappointment, every failure is teaching you something if you are willing to listen. Discipline grows through repetition under pressure. You cannot think your way into toughness. You must live it. You must feel it. Every time you push through pain, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than your excuses. You begin to build trust in your own strength. That trust becomes unshakable confidence. Pain will visit you in many forms. Sometimes it will be physical, sometimes emotional, sometimes spiritual. You will feel it when you lose, when you are rejected, when your efforts go unnoticed. But instead of running, meet it head on. Look at it, feel it fully. Pain only has power when you resist it. Once you accept it, it becomes fuel. Imagine your life as a fire. Pain is the wood that keeps it burning. Without it, the flame dies. The more you feed it, the brighter and stronger you become. But most people keep trying to build a life without pain, without pressure, without struggle. They wonder why their fire never grows. Pain gives meaning to joy. It gives weight to victory. Without it, achievement would feel empty. You cannot appreciate peace without chaos. You cannot feel pride without struggle. Everything valuable in life is earned through pain. The longer you resist it, the longer you delay your growth. If you want to become disciplined, learn to use pain as your compass. When something feels uncomfortable, you are probably moving in the right direction. When something challenges you, lean into it. When you want to quit, take one more step. The path of pain is the path of progress. There will be moments when pain isolates you. You will feel misunderstood. People will tell you to slow down, to take it easy, to stop pushing so hard. They will not understand what drives you. That is fine. This journey is not for them. It is for you. The deeper the pain, the deeper the transformation. Remember, pain does not last forever. It comes in waves. It tests you, breaks you, reshapes you, and then it leaves you stronger. The goal is not to avoid it, but to endure it. To walk through the fire, knowing it will burn away everything that is not meant for you. When life hurts, remind yourself that it is shaping you into the person you are meant to become. Every scar tells a story of survival. Every challenge is proof that you are capable of more. Pain does not define you. Your response to it does. The next time pain shows up, do not run. Stand still, breathe, welcome it. Let it carve out the weakness. Let it teach you patience. Let it build your discipline. Pain is the path, and if you are strong enough to stay on it, you will find power on the other side that no comfort could ever give you. Chapter 4. The Power of Routine. Discipline becomes unbreakable when it turns into routine. A routine is not a prison. It is a path. It's a structure that frees you from chaos and keeps you anchored when motivation fades. People who fail at discipline often believe success requires bursts of intensity. They go hard for a few days, then crash. True discipline is not about occasional effort. It is about consistency that becomes identity. Routine is the foundation of every powerful life. The most successful people in any field are not the ones who have the most talent, but the ones who have built their lives around habits that produce results. They do not wake up and wonder what to do. They already know. Routine eliminates decision fatigue. When your actions are automatic, your energy is no longer wasted on hesitation. Every day you wake up without a plan, your mind becomes your enemy. It will find distractions. It will seek comfort. But when you live by routine, you remove the opportunity for weakness to creep in. You do not negotiate with yourself. You simply execute. That is what routine does. It builds momentum through repetition until excellence becomes your default. Many people fear routine because they think it will make their life boring. They confuse freedom with chaos. True freedom is not doing whatever you feel like. True freedom is having control over your actions. Routine gives you that control. It teaches you that structure is not the enemy of creativity. It is the platform that sustains it. A disciplined routine starts small. You do not need to rebuild your life overnight. Start with one habit that aligns with your goal. Wake up at the same time. Move your body. Read something that strengthens your mind. Work on your craft for one focused hour. These small anchors create stability. Once they are consistent, add more. Discipline compounds like interest. Every small victory adds to your momentum. Routine removes emotion from the equation. When something becomes part of your daily system, you do it whether you feel like it or not. That is where true strength is built. The difference between amateurs and professionals is not talent. It is commitment to routine. Amateurs work when they are inspired. Professionals work because it is what they do. If you want to force yourself to stay disciplined, design your environment for it. Do not rely on willpower alone. Willpower is limited. Systems are not. Create cues that trigger your actions. Place your running shoes beside your bed. Prepare your workspace before you sleep. Keep your phone away during deep work. Discipline becomes easier when you remove friction from the process. The secret is not to make every decision in real time. Decide once and build systems that make the right choice automatic. When you structure your day with purpose, you eliminate temptation. You no longer depend on motivation because your routine takes over. You begin to feel proud of your consistency, and that pride reinforces the cycle. Routine also builds identity. Each time you follow through, you confirm who you are becoming. A person who trains daily becomes an athlete. A person who writes daily becomes a writer. A person who wakes up early becomes a leader. The mind adapts to what you repeatedly do. Your actions shape your self-image more than your thoughts ever will. At first, routine feels heavy. It feels restrictive. But over time, it becomes your rhythm. It becomes your peace. You begin to crave the structure because it makes you feel grounded. Chaos starts to feel uncomfortable. That is the shift. When you reach the point where discipline feels natural and laziness feels foreign, you are no longer forcing yourself. You are living it. Every morning you must own your time before the world takes it. The way you start your day sets the tone for everything that follows. If you start with distraction, your focus will scatter. If you start with purpose, your mind will obey your commands. Build a morning routine that centers you. Move your body, focus your mind, and decide your direction before the noise of the day takes over. Do not chase intensity. Chase consistency. It's better to do something small every day than something extreme once in a while. 1 hour of focused work every day for a year will outperform random bursts of effort. Routine turns consistency into power. It teaches your body and mind to expect progress. It transforms discipline from something you do into something you are. When you build your routine, expect resistance. Your mind will fight you. It will say, "Skip today, you deserve rest." It will remind you of how comfortable your old life was. Ignore it. The hardest part is not the work itself, but showing up for it. Once you begin, momentum takes over. Action always kills doubt. There will be days when you miss your routine. That does not mean you failed. What matters is how fast you return to it. Discipline is not perfection. It is the ability to reset quickly. Every time you come back, you reinforce the identity of someone who stays committed. That identity is the foundation of unshakable self-respect. Routine also strengthens your relationship with time. You begin to understand that every minute matters. Time becomes a tool instead of an obstacle. You stop wasting hours on distractions because you know exactly what matters. You stop overthinking because you have already decided who you are and what needs to be done. To build a powerful routine, anchor it to your purpose. If your routine has no meaning, it will not last. You must know why you are doing it. The purpose gives the pain meaning. It gives the repetition value. It reminds you that every small act is connected to a greater vision. When you master routine, you eliminate excuses. There is no more, "I will try." There is only, "It is time." Routine creates order in your mind. It keeps you stable when life feels unpredictable. It gives you control when everything else seems uncertain. That control is what builds confidence. If you look at the lives of disciplined people, you will see patterns. They all wake up early. They all train their bodies. They all dedicate time to learning. They all have non-negotiables that keep them sharp. These are not coincidences. They are systems that make discipline a way of life. The power of routine is that it frees your mind from constant decision-making. You do not waste energy debating what to do next. You execute, and that focus allows you to go deeper, perform better, and stay consistent. Routine is how ordinary people achieve extraordinary results. Remember, routine is not meant to limit you. It is meant to liberate you from your weaker impulses. It is the framework that allows your best self to appear every single day. The longer you stay consistent, the stronger you become. Start small. Stay consistent. Build routines that align with your purpose. Over time, they will build the version of yourself you have always wanted to be. Routine is not repetition without meaning. It is structure with intention. And once you learn to live by it, you will never need to force discipline again. You will simply live it. Chapter 5. The enemy called comfort. Comfort is seductive. It whispers to you with a gentle voice and promises peace. It tells you that you have earned a break, that you deserve rest, that life is meant to be easy. But behind that soft voice lies your greatest enemy. Comfort is not your friend. Comfort is the silent killer of dreams, the thief of potential, the destroyer of greatness. Every man and woman who has ever achieved something remarkable had to declare war on comfort. Comfort is the reason you hit snooze instead of rising. It is the reason you skip your workout, the reason you settle for less, the reason you stay the same year after year. It does not arrive as pain or conflict. It arrives as softness, as stillness, as the slow decay of your hunger. The truth is that comfort feels good because it demands nothing. It allows you to feel safe while your potential rots inside you. It gives you the illusion of peace, but deep down, you know it is stealing your edge. You cannot grow and stay comfortable at the same time. You must choose. You can have comfort, or you can have progress. Never both. Comfort weakens the spirit. It tells you that tomorrow will be easier, that there will always be more time. But every day you surrender to it, a piece of your ambition dies. Discipline requires discomfort. Growth requires resistance. To become strong, you must be willing to live where others quit. The enemy called comfort does not always appear obvious. Sometimes it hides in success. You achieve something, and the satisfaction blinds you. You start to relax. You start to coast. Slowly, the edge dulls. You stop pushing as hard because you believe you have earned rest. That is how greatness fades. Success can become another form of comfort if you are not careful. Every day, comfort tests you. It does not announce itself. It comes as small choices. Sleep in or get up. Eat clean or cheat. Work or scroll. These small decisions decide everything. The person who builds discipline wins not through massive acts of willpower, but through 1,000 small refusals to bow to comfort. Comfort is the enemy because it keeps you average. It tricks you into believing that you are doing fine while keeping you far from your potential. You begin to confuse satisfaction with stagnation. You tell yourself that you are content, but deep down you feel restless because part of you knows you are capable of more. That quiet frustration you feel is the sound of your potential suffocating. The solution is not to eliminate comfort entirely. Rest is necessary. Recovery is part of discipline, but you must learn the difference between rest and escape. Rest is intentional. It restores energy so you can return stronger. Escape is avoidance. It steals energy and makes you weaker. Most people are not resting. They are escaping. They are numbing themselves with comfort to avoid the hard work that change demands. If you want to become unshakable, you must learn to make peace with discomfort. You must treat it like training. Every time you feel resistance, lean into it. When you want to stop, go 5 minutes longer. When your body says no, let your mind say yes. You will be amazed at what you can endure when you stop letting comfort decide your limits. Discipline means building a relationship with discomfort. You learn to sit with it without panic. You learn to see it as part of the process, not the enemy. Discomfort becomes the proof that you are alive, that you are pushing forward, that you are evolving. The day you stop feeling discomfort is the day you stop growing. Look around you. The world is built on the illusion of comfort. Every product, every service, every distraction is designed to make your life easier. Fast food, endless entertainment, constant convenience. The modern world rewards laziness and calls it progress. But all this ease comes at a cost. The more comfortable you become, the more disconnected you get from your own strength. To escape comfort, you must consciously create discomfort. Challenge yourself daily. Take cold showers, wake up earlier, train harder, speak up when you are afraid. Learn new skills that intimidate you. Seek environments that stretch you. Do something that makes you uncomfortable every single day. This is not punishment. This is how you stay sharp. Comfort tells you that you have time, but time is not guaranteed. Every day spent chasing comfort is a day stolen from your purpose. You do not get those days back. One day, you will look around and realize that comfort kept you still while life moved on without you. That is why the most dangerous words you can ever believe are, "I will do it later." To live with discipline, you must reverse the equation. You must find comfort in discomfort. You must learn to crave the grind, to enjoy the struggle, to see pain as a signal that you are alive. When everyone else is seeking ease, you must be the one who seeks difficulty. That is how you rise. The mind will resist this at first. It will beg you to return to comfort. It will create justifications that sound reasonable. It will say things like you need balance or you are overdoing it. That is the voice of weakness trying to survive. You must silence it with action. When you act, comfort loses its power. Over time, you will notice something powerful. The things that once felt hard begin to feel normal. The workouts that used to exhaust you become your warm-up. The habits that once felt impossible become automatic. That is the reward for rejecting comfort. You evolve, your standard rises. What used to be your limit becomes your baseline. Comfort is a liar. It promises peace, but it delivers emptiness. It promises happiness, but it gives you regret. Discipline may be painful, but it leads to pride. Pride in knowing you did what most people will not. Pride in knowing you faced discomfort and did not break. Pride in knowing that you earned every result. The people who rise above the average are not superhuman. They simply have a different relationship with comfort. They see comfort as the enemy, not the goal. They understand that every great reward lies on the other side of discomfort. They do not run from the challenge, they run toward it. Ask yourself what comfort has cost you. The opportunities you did not take, the goals you abandoned, the person you could have become. The more you let comfort lead your life, the more of yourself you lose. But the good news is, you can take it back. Every act of discipline reclaims a piece of the power you gave away. Remember, comfort feels good now but hurts later. Discomfort hurts now but feels good forever. One path leads to regret, the other to growth. You already know which one to choose. So the next time comfort calls, do not answer. Stand up, move, take action, do what needs to be done even when it is hard. Comfort is the enemy, but it only wins if you surrender. Choose discomfort. Choose growth. Choose to become everything comfort told you that you could not be. Chapter 6, Mental Toughness 101. Mental toughness is not about being emotionless or invincible. It is about mastering your response when life tries to break you. Every challenge, every setback, every failure is not a wall, but a test. It asks, how badly do you want it? How much pain can you endure without quitting? Mental toughness is built in the moments when no one is watching, when you are tired, when you are doubting yourself, and yet you move anyway. You cannot think your way into mental toughness. You must live it. It is developed through action, repetition, and endurance. Every time you keep going when you want to stop, you are laying another brick in the wall of resilience. Mental toughness is not born in comfort. It is forged in struggle. It is the result of repeatedly choosing discipline over emotion. Your mind is like a muscle. If you never challenge it, it becomes soft. If you constantly challenge it, it becomes unbreakable. The world will not hand you strength. It will hand you obstacles that force you to build it. Every difficult moment in your life has given you a chance to grow mentally stronger, but only if you refuse to run from it. The first step to building mental toughness is awareness. You must recognize your inner voice, the one that always looks for the easy way out. It will tell you to stop, to rest, to give up. It will whisper that no one cares and that it does not matter. That voice is not your truth. It is your weakness trying to survive. You cannot silence it with thoughts. You silence it with action. When your mind says stop, your body still has more to give. When your body says it cannot, your spirit can carry it further. You must push beyond the limits you have accepted for yourself. Most people quit when they reach discomfort. The mentally tough push when the discomfort begins. That is where the real growth happens. Mental toughness is not a gift. It is a skill. It is trained by embracing challenges that force you to adapt. When you face adversity, do not ask, why me? Ask, what is this teaching me? The world is not against you. It is training you. Every setback prepares you for something greater. Pain becomes the teacher that shapes your potential. You build mental toughness when you hold yourself accountable. Excuses are the enemy. When you mess up, own it. When you fall short, learn from it. Mentally weak people blame circumstances. Mentally strong people take responsibility. Accountability is power because it keeps you in control. You cannot fix what you refuse to face. Discipline and mental toughness are inseparable. One feeds the other. Discipline creates structure, and toughness allows you to stay within that structure when it gets hard. Without toughness, discipline crumbles the moment discomfort appears. Without discipline, toughness has no direction. Together, they make you unstoppable. To strengthen your mind, you must intentionally place yourself in uncomfortable situations. Do things that challenge your patience, your focus, and your endurance. Wake up earlier than you want to. Train longer than you plan to. Sit in silence and face your thoughts instead of escaping them. Every time you do something that feels hard, you're teaching your mind that it can survive. Mental toughness is also about emotional control. Life will hit you with chaos, frustration, and disappointment. If you react to everything, you will never stay steady. The strong learn to pause, breathe, and respond with purpose. Control does not mean suppression. It means direction. You take the energy of your emotions and channel it into action. Anger becomes fuel. Fear becomes focus. There will be moments when quitting feels logical. Your mind will rationalize it. It will say that it is not worth it, that you have done enough, that maybe this is not your path. That is the test. The voice that tells you to quit always shows up right before you reach the next level. If you stop there, you never discover what you are capable of. When you face hardship, remember that your mind exaggerates pain. It tells you that you cannot handle it. But if you stay with it long enough, that voice fades, and a new one appears, the voice that says, keep going. The more you listen to that second voice, the stronger it becomes. It will eventually drown out the first. The mentally tough do not depend on motivation. They operate on commitment. Motivation is fleeting. Commitment is permanent. You do not need to feel ready. You need to act. Every time you act despite fear or fatigue, you prove that you control your mind, not the other way around. You will have days when you feel weak. That does not make you any less strong. Mental toughness is not about never breaking. It is about never staying broken. It is about standing up one more time than you fall. The person who keeps getting back up cannot be defeated. To strengthen your mind, stop seeking shortcuts. Stop wishing for an easier life. Wish for the strength to handle a harder one. The easy road will make you fragile. The hard road will make you unshakable. The more you train your mind under pressure, the calmer you will be when chaos comes. Your environment plays a role in your toughness. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, not those who comfort your weakness. Spend time with those who demand more from you than you demand from yourself. Iron sharpens iron. You cannot grow if you only stay around softness. Mental toughness also means mastering your self-talk. The way you speak to yourself determines how you act. Stop telling yourself you cannot. Stop labeling yourself as lazy or undisciplined. Every time you repeat those words, you reinforce weakness. Speak strength. Say, I can handle this. I'm built for this. Words become beliefs, and beliefs shape actions. When everything falls apart, the mentally tough see opportunity. They do not panic. They adapt. They ask, how can I use this? They do not waste energy complaining. They focus on solutions. That mindset transforms adversity into advantage. To build mental toughness, you must live intentionally. Stop drifting through days waiting to feel ready. Decide who you want to become and act accordingly. When you set a standard and refuse to break it, your mind learns obedience. You become the master instead of the servant. Over time, mental toughness becomes peace. You stop fearing hard things. You stop avoiding pain. You begin to see obstacles as proof that you are on the right path. Life stops feeling overwhelming because you know you can handle it. Toughness gives you that confidence. Mental toughness is the quiet strength that carries you through storms. It is the calm voice that says keep going when the world tells you to quit. It is the unshakable belief that no matter how bad it gets, you will not break. So the next time life pushes you to your edge, smile. You are being tested. You are being built. Every moment of pain is shaping the person you need to become. Stay calm, stay committed, stay unbreakable. That is mental toughness. Chapter 7. Discipline over emotion. Emotion is powerful. It can drive you forward or destroy your momentum completely. Most people let their emotions lead their lives, and that is why they stay inconsistent. Discipline over emotion is the art of acting according to your purpose, not your feelings. It is the ability to do what is right, even when it does not feel right. It is the mindset that separates the weak from the unstoppable. Your emotions are like weather. They change constantly. One day you feel unstoppable, the next you feel tired, unmotivated, or lost. If your actions depend on your emotional state, you will never build lasting progress. Discipline is what keeps you steady through the storm. It is the anchor that holds you in place when emotion tries to pull you off course. There will be days when you wake up with no energy, days when you feel uninspired, days when the last thing you want to do is push yourself. That is where discipline steps in. Discipline does not ask how you feel. It asks what needs to be done. It is not emotional. It is logical. It follows commitment, not comfort. If you wait to feel ready, you will wait forever. You will talk yourself out of opportunities. You will miss growth because you confuse emotion with truth. Feelings are temporary. Discipline is permanent. The most successful people are not those who feel motivated every day. They are those who act even when they feel nothing. The human mind is a master at creating excuses. It will tell you that today is not the right time, that you deserve rest, that it is okay to take it easy. These are emotional traps. They sound gentle, but they are poison. Discipline is the antidote. When you build discipline, you stop negotiating with weakness. You stop asking your emotions for permission to act. You must understand that emotion is not your enemy. Emotion is energy. It becomes destructive only when you let it control you. The goal is not to suppress emotion, but to direct it. When you feel fear, use it as focus. When you feel anger, channel it into intensity. When you feel tired, use that as proof that you are doing something that matters. Emotion should serve you, not lead you. The problem is that most people confuse emotion with identity. They say, I am lazy instead of I feel lazy. They say, I am not confident instead of I feel unsure. Feelings are not facts. They are signals. They pass through you, but they do not define you. Discipline allows you to see emotion for what it is, just a moment, not a command. When you start building discipline, your emotions will rebel. They will test you. They will scream for comfort. They will tempt you with pleasure and distraction. You must stay still. You must act through the storm. Every time you act in opposition to emotion, you gain power over it. Every time you obey it, you lose control. discipline over emotion also means learning emotional patience. When things go wrong, the undisciplined react. They panic, complain, or give up. The disciplined pause. They breathe. They respond. They understand that emotion creates noise, and noise clouds judgment. Calm is a weapon. The person who stays calm under pressure always wins. You will notice this in every area of life. In fitness, emotion tells you to stop when the burn starts. Discipline tells you to keep pushing because the pain is progress. In work, emotion tells you to take a break when you feel overwhelmed. Discipline tells you to focus until the task is complete. In relationships, emotion tells you to speak out of anger. Discipline tells you to wait, reflect, and respond with clarity. The world rewards people who can manage emotion. Those who remain stable when others lose control earn respect. They lead. They inspire confidence. Because when you can control yourself, you can handle anything. Discipline gives you that control. You will never eliminate emotion entirely, and you should not try to. Emotion adds color to life, but you must decide who is in charge. Discipline is the driver. Emotion is the passenger. When emotion drives, you crash. When discipline drives, you arrive. To strengthen discipline over emotion, create systems that make the right action automatic. When you rely on feelings to decide, emotion wins. When you rely on routine, discipline wins. Wake up at the same time. Train at the same time. Work at the same time. Do it until it becomes habit. The stronger your system, the weaker your excuses. Another key is to separate what you want now from what you want most. Emotion focuses on instant gratification. Discipline focuses on long-term growth. Emotion wants comfort today. Discipline wants freedom tomorrow. Every time you choose what you want most over what you want now, you train your mind to serve your purpose, not your feelings. You must also learn to detach from praise and criticism. Emotion feeds on both. When people praise you, you get comfortable. When they criticize you, you get discouraged. Discipline stays neutral. It does not seek validation. It stays focused on the mission, not the noise. Discipline over emotion is also about mastering your internal dialogue. When you hear the voice that says, "I cannot," answer it with action. When you hear the voice that says, "I am tired," move anyway. You do not defeat emotion with words. You defeat it with movement. Each act of defiance builds inner strength. Remember, emotion is temporary. You can feel exhausted and still perform. You can feel fear and still move forward. You can feel doubt and still stay disciplined. The mind lies. The body follows. The disciplined person understands that the right action eventually changes the emotion. When you act, your feelings shift. You stop waiting for motivation because your motion creates it. There will be times when emotions feel overwhelming. You may feel sadness, frustration, or loneliness. Do not run from them. Feel them fully, but do not let them control your choices. You can acknowledge pain without surrendering to it. Strength does not mean you never feel. It means you feel deeply but still stay on course. When you learn discipline over emotion, life becomes simpler. You stop arguing with yourself. You stop wasting energy on indecision. You do what needs to be done, whether it feels easy or not. You stop being a slave to moods and start being a master of action. Every great achievement was born from this principle. Athletes who train through exhaustion. Artists who create despite doubt. Entrepreneurs who persist through rejection. They all learn to act without waiting to feel ready. That is the secret. That is the difference. If you want to live a life of purpose, stop letting emotion dictate your story. You are not your feelings. You are what you repeatedly do. Discipline is freedom because it frees you from the chaos of emotion. So the next time you do not feel like it, remind yourself that feelings fade, but results last. Act anyway. Move anyway. Do what must be done. Emotion is loud, but discipline is steady. And steady always wins. Chapter 8. Sacrifice and Focus. Everyone wants success until they understand the price. Sacrifice is the entry fee to every dream, and focus is the gatekeeper that guards it. People say they want discipline, power, and results, but when the time comes to give something up, they hesitate. They cling to comfort, distractions, and habits that keep them small. The truth is, you cannot have growth without loss. You cannot build the new you while holding on to the old one. Sacrifice is not punishment. It is transformation. It is proof that what you want matters more than what you are leaving behind. Every goal demands something from you: time, comfort, ego, energy. The question is not whether you can achieve it. The question is whether you are willing to pay for it. Most people never reach their potential because they try to keep everything. They want success without sleepless nights. They want progress without discomfort. They want to grow without letting go. But the path to greatness is narrow, and there is no room for excess. To rise, you must release. You cannot carry everything with you into your next chapter. Focus begins when you decide what truly matters. You cannot chase 10 things and master one. You cannot divide your attention and expect clarity. Focus means choosing your direction and eliminating distractions that dilute your strength. It means saying no over and over again to everything that does not serve your mission. The disciplined understand that time is a weapon. Every wasted hour is a gift to mediocrity. They protect their time with ruthless precision. They do not chase every impulse or distraction. They build habits that support their purpose and structure their lives around what matters most. Focus is not a feeling. It is a decision. You train it every day by guarding your attention. You must learn to sacrifice the easy pleasures that steal your energy. Comfort is not your friend. It disguises itself as rest, but it is decay in slow motion. You think you are recovering, but you are regressing. The body rests when it needs to, but the mind seeks comfort to escape work. The strong know the difference. They rest with purpose, not out of weakness. To stay focused, you must constantly remind yourself why you started. Discipline fades when your reason fades. Every morning, return to your purpose. Write it down. Say it out loud. Feel it in your chest. Remind yourself that the sacrifice is not suffering. It is the path. Every moment you choose focus, you are building the foundation for the future you want. Sacrifice will isolate you. Not everyone will understand your choices. Friends may drift away. People will call you obsessed or too serious. They will not see the vision because it is not theirs to see. They are judging from comfort, not from the battlefield. Remember this: discipline often looks like madness to those who quit early. Let them talk. While they sleep, you will be building. There is a beauty in sacrifice that few ever experience. It is the clarity that comes when you strip away everything unnecessary, when you stop chasing approval, when you stop needing validation. You realize that peace does not come from more, it comes from less. When your life is simple and aligned, focus becomes natural. You no longer waste energy on distractions because you are too busy living your purpose. To sacrifice effectively, you must know your priorities. Not everything can matter equally. Choose the top 3 things that move your life forward and cut out the rest. When you focus your time and energy on what counts, your progress multiplies. You do not need more hours in the day. You need fewer distractions in the hours you have. The cost of focus is boredom. The undisciplined seek excitement. They crave variety, but mastery is repetition. Progress is quiet. You will do the same things daily. You will wake up, work, train, learn, and repeat. It will feel dull, but that dullness is the rhythm of greatness. The ones who stay consistent through monotony are the ones who dominate. Sacrifice is not only external, it is internal. You must sacrifice who you used to be. The version of you that makes excuses, the one that procrastinates, the one that seeks validation. You must let that person die. Growth is not about adding more to your life. It is about removing the parts that no longer serve your higher standard. Focus requires that you accept solitude. When you narrow your attention, the world quiets. You begin to notice how noisy most lives are. Endless scrolling, constant noise, empty conversations. You start to see how much energy people waste chasing meaningless distractions. Solitude becomes your training ground. In silence, you sharpen your mind. You reconnect with your purpose. You become grounded. There will be times when you doubt your path, when the sacrifices feel too heavy, when focus feels lonely. In those moments, remember this: the pain of sacrifice is temporary, but the pain of regret lasts forever. Every decision you make is a vote for the person you are becoming. Do not trade long-term peace for short-term comfort. Focus and sacrifice are choices you make every day. They are not one-time acts. They are a lifestyle. You must constantly recommit to your mission. You will slip, you will get distracted, but the key is to return quickly. Forgive yourself for falling, but never stay down. Recommit faster each time. That is how you build unbreakable consistency. The mind loves chaos. It feeds on variety and novelty. That is why focus feels so unnatural. It goes against the brain's instinct to chase stimulation. You must train it through discipline. Start small. Focus on one task at a time. Finish it before moving to the next. Every time you complete something with full attention, you build mental endurance. The most powerful people on earth are not those with the most talent, but those with the deepest focus. They can give everything to one mission. They can shut out the world and immerse themselves completely. That level of concentration is rare because it requires sacrifice. But once you master it, you become unstoppable. Discipline without focus is scattered energy. Focus without sacrifice is fantasy. Together, they create momentum that nothing can stop. You will not feel powerful all the time, but you will always know where you are going. That is what makes the difference. The world may not see your progress day by day, but when they finally notice, it will be undeniable. Sacrifice is not loss. It is trade. You give up what does not serve you to gain what does. Every sacrifice is a seed. You may not see results right away, but they are growing underground. Keep watering them with patience, consistency, and faith. The harvest always comes to those who stay focused. So let the world be distracted. Let others chase comfort and noise. You know your mission. You know what you must give up to rise higher. Hold that vision. Guard your focus. Honor your sacrifices. In time, they will reward you with a life that is solid, clear, and unstoppable. That is the power of sacrifice and focus. Chapter 9, Self-Respect Through Discipline. There is a kind of power that cannot be faked. It is quiet, steady, and unshakable. It comes from one place only, from keeping your word to yourself. That is self-respect. You can build muscles, earn money, gain recognition, but if you do not keep your own promises, you will always feel small. Discipline is the foundation of self-respect. When you do what you say you will do, even when no one is watching, you create trust within yourself. And that trust becomes strength. Most people do not lose self-respect because they fail. They lose it because they give up. They break promises to themselves over and over until their words carry no weight. Each time you say you will do something and do not follow through, you teach your mind that your words mean nothing. You start to doubt yourself. You start to see yourself as unreliable. And deep down, that eats away at your confidence. Discipline restores that confidence. It rebuilds your reputation with yourself. When you follow through, even on small things, you begin to believe in your own strength again. You stop needing validation from others because you have earned your own respect. The way you see yourself changes, and when that changes, everything else follows. Self-respect is not about arrogance or pride. It is about integrity. It is about alignment between your thoughts, words, and actions. Discipline is what keeps that alignment strong. Without it, you become scattered. You drift. You talk about goals instead of living them. You make excuses instead of progress. But when discipline takes root, your actions match your intentions, and your confidence grows from within. Every time you complete a task you did not want to do, you prove something to yourself. You show that you are dependable, that you can trust your own strength. And that internal trust is what builds unbreakable self-respect. People talk about self-love, but self-love without discipline is empty. You cannot truly love yourself if you constantly betray yourself. Think of how you feel when someone lies to you. The trust disappears. The bond weakens. Now imagine lying to yourself every day, saying you will change, saying you will do better, but never acting on it. That is why so many people feel lost. They keep breaking promises to themselves and then wonder why they have no confidence. Discipline fixes that. It turns promises into proof. Every small act of discipline is a vote for the person you want to become. You do not need to overhaul your life overnight. Start with one promise. Wake up at the time you said you would. Keep that promise. Do your workout even if it is short. Keep that promise. Work on your craft for one focused hour. Keep that promise. Over time, these small acts accumulate. They create a pattern, and that pattern becomes your identity. You begin to see yourself as reliable, as strong, as someone who follows through. That is how self-respect is built, brick by brick. Self-respect also means setting standards. You teach people how to treat you by how you treat yourself. If you tolerate disrespect from yourself, you will tolerate it from others. If you cut corners, make excuses, and accept mediocrity, people will mirror that back to you. But when you hold yourself to a higher standard, when you demand consistency from yourself, others will feel that energy. They will treat you with more respect because you project it naturally. Discipline teaches you to protect your time and your boundaries. When you respect your goals, you stop wasting time on meaningless distractions. You stop saying yes to everything. You start saying no with confidence. That no is not selfish. It is self-respect in action. It is the voice that says, I'm doing something that matters, and I will not compromise it for comfort or approval. Self-respect grows when you face discomfort and stay true to your path. When life gets hard, most people fold. They lower their standards to match the situation. But the disciplined person stays consistent. They do not shrink when things get tough. They rise. That consistency is what builds inner pride, the kind of pride that does not need to be spoken because it is felt in silence. You will notice that the most disciplined people move differently. They do not chase attention. They do not brag. They walk with calm confidence because they know who they are. They have earned their peace through effort. Self-respect makes you unshakable because it anchors you in truth. You do not depend on external validation. You have already validated yourself through your actions. There will be moments when keeping your word feels impossible. When you are tired, discouraged, or tempted to quit. Those moments are where respect is truly built. Anyone can stay consistent when it is easy. Real self-respect is born when you show up despite the struggle. When you do what you said you would do. Not because it feels good, but because it defines who you are. You must understand that discipline is not punishment. It is freedom. When you live by discipline, you free yourself from chaos, regret, and self-doubt. You stop being controlled by impulses. You stop seeking shortcuts. You gain peace of mind because you know you are doing what needs to be done. That peace is priceless, and it can only come from earned respect. The path of discipline is lonely at times. People around you may not understand your choices. They might tell you to relax, to take it easy, to live a little. But they do not understand that self-respect feels better than temporary pleasure. They do not understand that peace of mind is more valuable than approval. Let them talk. You are not living for their comfort. You are building something greater within yourself. Self-respect also changes how you handle failure. The undisciplined see failure as defeat. The disciplined see it as feedback. When you have self-respect, failure does not break you. It refines you. You look at it, learn, adjust, and move again. You do not collapse because your worth is not tied to perfection. It is tied to effort, consistency, and truth. The stronger your discipline, the deeper your self-respect becomes. And the deeper your self-respect, the stronger your discipline grows. They feed each other. You start living from conviction, not emotion. You stop chasing motivation because you have something better, trust in yourself. That trust is what allows you to face challenges head-on. Self-respect gives you the power to stand alone. You do not need to prove anything to anyone. You no longer crave applause because you have already earned your own approval. That kind of strength is rare. It cannot be given or taken. It is forged through years of keeping your word, staying consistent, and refusing to quit. If you want to change your life, start here. Keep your promises. Stop lying to yourself. Show up when you say you will. Every action becomes a declaration of your worth. When you live with discipline, you no longer have to convince anyone of your value. Your presence speaks for itself. You will walk taller. You will speak with certainty. You will look in the mirror and see someone you respect. That is the ultimate reward of discipline. Not success, not recognition, but self-respect. Because when you respect yourself, everything else falls into place. So keep going. Keep showing up. Keep proving to yourself that your word matters. Every small act of discipline is another brick in the foundation of your strength. Build it until it cannot be broken. That is how you become someone you can trust. That is how you earn peace. That is how you build self-respect through discipline. Chapter 10, Becoming Unstoppable. Becoming unstoppable is not about never getting tired. It is not about never feeling fear or doubt. It is about moving forward no matter what stands in your way. The unstoppable do not have easier lives. They have stronger minds. They have built themselves through the pain, the failures, and the loneliness that destroy most people. To become unstoppable, you must decide that nothing will make you quit. Not exhaustion, not criticism, not uncertainty, nothing. The journey to becoming unstoppable begins with a single decision. You will never go back to who you used to be. Once that decision is made, everything changes. You stop waiting for the world to make things easier. You stop expecting support. You start realizing that no one is coming to save you. It is on you. And that is where your power begins. Most people spend their lives reacting. They let circumstances dictate their actions. They quit when it gets hard. They slow down when no one is watching. The unstoppable act on principle, not emotion. They do what must be done regardless of how they feel. They understand that consistency builds momentum, and momentum builds power. Once you build momentum, nothing can stop you but yourself. To become unstoppable, you must first kill the habit of hesitation. Every time you hesitate, you give fear a chance to grow. Fear feeds on delay. The longer you wait, the stronger it becomes. The moment you feel doubt creep in, move. Take the first step. Action destroys hesitation. You cannot think your way into confidence. You must act your way into it. You must also accept that failure is not final. Failure is feedback. Every mistake, every rejection, every setback is a lesson. Most people run from failure because they see it as proof that they are not good enough. The unstoppable see it as a teacher. They learn, adjust, and move again. They are not defined by their failures. They are refined by them. Discipline is what transforms ordinary effort into unstoppable energy. When you live by discipline, you remove the chaos of indecision. You do not waste energy debating whether to act. You already know what must be done, and you do it. That simplicity creates freedom. You stop overthinking. You stop waiting for motivation. You just move. And that movement compounds. Over time, it becomes unstoppable momentum. The unstoppable do not chase perfection. They chase progress. They understand that perfection is paralysis. They do not wait for the perfect plan, the perfect timing, or the perfect opportunity. They start now. They learn by doing. And with each step, they grow stronger, smarter, and more resilient. To be unstoppable, you must learn how to thrive in discomfort. Most people flee from pain. They avoid hard work. They seek shortcuts. But you cannot be unstoppable if you run from struggle. Growth lives in the hard places. When you learn to love the pain of progress, you become dangerous. Because now nothing can intimidate you. You are no longer afraid of effort. You welcome it. The mind will always try to protect you from discomfort. It will tell you to slow down, to take a break, to rest longer than you need. The unstoppable person understands that the mind is lazy by nature. It wants safety, not growth. You must lead your mind, not follow it. You must remind yourself every day that comfort is the enemy. When it feels uncomfortable, you are exactly where you need to be. Becoming unstoppable also requires purpose. Without purpose, discipline fades. Purpose is the fire that fuels endurance. It reminds you why you started when the process feels endless. Your purpose must be personal. It must mean something deeper than attention, success, or money. It must be a mission that gives your struggle meaning. When your why is strong enough, your how becomes automatic. The unstoppable understand that time is limited. They do not waste it waiting for permission or validation. They take action even when they are scared, even when they are unprepared. They know that the perfect time will never come. Every day is an opportunity to get better. Every minute wasted is a minute you will never get back. You become unstoppable when you stop depending on external validation. When you stop needing people to believe in you before you believe in yourself. The truth is, most people will not understand your drive. They will tell you to slow down, to relax, to be realistic. But their limits are not yours. Their fears are not your truth. The unstoppable do not seek approval. They create results. Resilience is the secret weapon of the unstoppable. When life knocks them down, they do not stay down. They get up faster every time. They do not let one failure define their future. They use pain as fuel. They turn obstacles into training. They do not complain. They adapt. That mindset makes them impossible to break. To stay unstoppable, you must protect your energy. Eliminate distractions, negative people, and wasted time. Every distraction is a thief. It steals your focus, your progress, your peace. You must learn to say no without guilt. Your focus is your weapon. Use it wisely. The world is full of noise, but the unstoppable operate in silence. They let their results speak. You must also master patience. Becoming unstoppable is not about speed. It is about endurance. Anyone can go hard for a day. Few can go hard for a decade. The unstoppable understand that greatness takes time. They are not in a rush. They trust the process. They show up every day, knowing that consistency will always outperform intensity that fades. The journey will test you. You will question yourself. You will have moments when you feel invisible, when your effort seems unnoticed. But keep going. The world is watching in silence. The breakthrough always comes after the moments when you want to quit most. Those who endure earn what others dream about. Becoming unstoppable is not a gift. It is a choice made every day. It is the decision to keep going when your body aches, when your mind doubts, when your emotions scream for comfort. It is the decision to bet on yourself over and over again until there is no other option but success. One day, you will look back and realize that every challenge was building you. Every setback was preparing you. Every moment of pain was shaping the strength you carry now. You will realize that you did not just survive, you transformed. That is the reward for never quitting. To become unstoppable, you do not need to be fearless. You need to move despite fear. You do not need to have all the answers. You just need to keep going. Step after step, day after day, until your persistence becomes your identity. There will always be people who doubt you, who underestimate you, who hope you fail. Let them. The unstoppable do not argue with doubters. They let success silence them. You do not need to prove them wrong. You only need to prove yourself right. So keep going. Keep pushing when it hurts. Keep showing up when it feels pointless. Every action counts. Every repetition matters. Every day you stay disciplined, you get closer to the version of yourself that cannot be stopped. Do not wait for strength. Create it. Do not wait for the perfect time. Make it. Your power is built in the doing, not the dreaming. The unstoppable are not born different. They become different through relentless consistency. You are capable of becoming that person, the one who refuses to quit, the one who moves mountains through persistence, the one who earns peace through effort, the one who becomes unstoppable.